Hey everyone, I am in the city of Elyria, Ohio. I'm telling the story today about a special gentleman who loves his city. I cannot wait to get his story. And I need you all to follow me, like me, and let's get this story told. Thank you. See you soon. Love you. Remember the sweetness of Ohio. All right, everybody. Today I am excited to talk to Frank today. And I'm going to let Frank do all the talking and tell us why did he stay in the city of Elyria. And obviously there's a love for the city of Elyria that he has. And we want him to tell us his story and what his sweetness of Elyria is, as well as the great faces of Elyria, the great places that's here that we can visit, and the great products. Okay, Frank, I'm gonna let you just tell them who you are. Just go for it, dude.
Yep. So I'm Frank Whitfield, mayor of the city of Elyria, and I'm looking forward to talking to you about the sweetness of Elyria. And I'll start with our natural resources. We have amazing parks in our city. From the historic Cascade Park that has two waterfalls that you're not gonna find many of in the country. And it's a great natural resource that we have access to right here from downtown. We also have several parks and trails. So our city has over 15 parks in our city, but we also have some big larger parks that have trail systems in it. We have a West Park, a East Park, a North Park, and a South Park. That's kind of our anchors. And
But Frank, first, I'm going to interrupt you because there's one that's just absolutely beautiful.
That's where the waterfalls are at.
Yes.
So that is one of our greatest natural resources, and we definitely encourage folks to, when they're in town, come to the park, come to Cascade Park and tour around. And the history here, so one of the sweetness of Elyria is our history. And that waterfall was used as a mill that helped start the economy here and get business booming here. And now that waterfall is a tourist attraction where we get people that come from all around the country to come visit Cascade Park to look at our waterfall. So that's one key part about the sweetness of our city.
Wow. Frank, I know you were born and literally brought up here in Elyria. Talk about that.
Yes, so I've lived here my whole 35 years of existence. I've been blessed that I've been able to travel the country and travel the world, but I've always been planted here in the city of Elyria. And I think it's a special place. I think it can prepare people for anything in the world. We're the 14th largest city in the state, which I think people don't understand and recognize. We're 53,000 residents. So it's not a little country town, but at the same time, it's small enough that you know your neighbors. It's small enough that you can make a difference, and that's one of the reasons that's kept me here. Is that I truly believe that though we have some big city problems, we're small enough that we can actually address them, and you can really feel your impact here as a resident. So the great faces of Elyria, I would say, aren't necessarily people, but they're organizations. So the Rigid Tools of the world, the Crane Aerospaces of the world, the Foundry of the world, so that the Multi-Links of the world. We have a very rich history of industry here, where Elyria was seen as a job center. There was a place you could come and get a really high quality job. And there's a number of companies that are still carrying forward that legacy. And then I'd say it's our community organizations, the Rotary clubs, the Kiwanis clubs, the Invest Elyrias of the world, these community groups that are built on the Elks Lodge, the Masons, these groups that are just business people who are like, hey, we care about our community. Let's pool our resources together. Let's volunteer. Let's donate. Let's build beds for kids. Let's donate bikes for kids. Those. Yeah.
Does any one of them have like products that are made here and manufactured here that people have no idea or just don't even realize?
Yes, so I think now I shouldn't do favorites, but I guess one of my favorites is Rigid. So Rigid Tool is a company that's headquartered here in the city of Elyria. Been here for they celebrate 100 years this year, and I was in Seattle a couple weeks ago and saw somebody drive with a Rigid Tool in their trunk. And there's a whole cult around Rigid Tools. There's people with tattoos because, as you know, people's tools are everything.
Yes.
You have the right tools, so
Yes.
people get attached to their tools because they help them get their job done every day. And a lot of times those tools are Rigid Tools. So
Wow.
that's a product that we're really proud of, that it's made right here in Elyria.
Everybody's got a backbone. Let's talk about the backbone to Frank.
Mm-hmm.
Who is she?
Yeah, so my wife Kalina is definitely everything. I mean, she's my ration. She keeps me, thinking straight. She gives me encouragement as we deal with different challenges, and she's very supportive of what we're trying to get done here in the city. And she's active, so she's not just a support of me. She was on the library board. We helped build the new library downtown.
It's beautiful.
So she's a leader in her own right. And so, and then my family, we got 4 daughters, and all of them are very inspiring. All of them inspire me every day, and I'm blessed.
Now, one of them should have graduated from college?
So our oldest is in med school. She's at Georgetown in med school, and graduated from Howard University.
Congratulations.
So she's crushing it. And then we got a middle schooler, we got an elementary, and then we got a newborn as well. Yeah, not all women, so
Oh my gosh.
they're teaching me every day.
So you definitely know how to work with women.
Yeah, or they're teaching me.
That's a feather in your cap, guy.
Yeah, by default. Yeah. Yeah, so some of the changes that we've started to embark on in the city is, one, moving the city into the 21st century. So a lot of that has been the embracing of technology. So now, even with our traffic system within the city, we're making it smart so that people aren't waiting at lights that nobody's at. So we've invested in a smart infrastructure to start to change our traffic management system. Our cemetery is now going to be where you can virtually figure out where your loved ones are at, so that you don't have to, be fumbling around. And so really embracing technology. So throughout everything we do, we have one of the big pieces is even the private sector has really bought into it, and we're having a electronic sports arena being built here, $40 million project that's going to be built right here in downtown, and that's all about electronic sports, esports, and this whole movement around video games and competitions and sponsorships. And then there's the whole industry around esports that includes the video editing and the video game design, and the industry that wraps around the hospitality industry that really wraps around the esports sector. So, when I first got elected in 2019, my first day was January 2020. And we know, less than 100 days into the job, what happened, the world shut down. And so many of the things that we had started to embark upon had to take either a pause or start to slow down so much. And so, part of my commitment to the city is I want to see through what we've started. And, I thought, initially we'd be able to get it done within this 4-year period, but I realized it's going to take a little bit more time to get things incubated and further along. So I'm hoping to continue, get reelected at the end of this year, and continue to work moving forward. And people will see the fruit of what we've started back since January 2020.
Frank, I thank you for this time, and we truly have enjoyed this, and we look forward to seeing what's coming down the pike in Elyria, Ohio.
Yes,
the sweetness of Ohio. Thank you so much.